Well, look at you. Aren't you pretty? Oh, you like it when I put it right in there? Yeah. Oh, look at that. I just hit 1,000 miles. God damn it, I gotta stop doing that.
So what's up, folks? Bringing you a little bit of a moto vlog today. It's been a little while since I did one of these. Well, I mean, I still ride with my camera on and shit like that, but I'm here to talk to you today about the 2018 Indian Scout Bobber. I'd definitely be lying if I said that I knew this was happening. I definitely didn't. Was not expecting a move like this from Indian, to be honest. Are you turning? Because you should really have your signal on if you're just gonna go this slow. Dear God, okay. Thank you. So let's just take a look at this bike, man. Like, holy crap. This whole styling is totally different from what I would expect Indian to do. What do we got here? 2 motorcycles. We gonna wave because we're nice like that. Except the guy in the back with the Harley. Of course he's not nice. But yeah, fucking look at this bike, man. Holy shit. It's like, I can tell right off the bat that they did not have to invest much money into this thing to make it look like that. I mean, yeah, it's a bobber, so the whole philosophy is take off the bike. And in that regard they did, you know. Look down at what I got here. I got a normal headlight. They have a cowl, so that's not really taking off, but rather adding to. I can't tell whether or not I like it. I mean, I kind of dig my headlight the way... Bumpy road, holy shit. I can't really tell if I like it or not because, I mean, I fucking like them. I like my headlight. It's a nice little, like, sealed beam kind of style, like the old school style. But I see what they're trying to do, you know? A lot of people have been trying to get, like, bullet fairings, make it look a little badass. They have the little 1901 little cowl on top, and, you know, some people like that. It's not really my whole thing. No, me personally, I kind of really enjoy the look of the headlight on the Scout. But I see what they're trying to do, you know? I mean, a lot of people are giving this thing hell because they're like, no, it's not Indian, it looks like a Harley, yada, yada, yada. Dude, take a look at every other motorcycle manufacturer trying to make a Harley. And then take a look at Indian doing their fresh take. I mean, come on. It doesn't look that bad. I will say this, though. Because it looks like they just used parts they had laying around, or maybe something they didn't have to spend too much time conceptualizing, I'm really hoping I can kind of parts bin this thing up to make it look a little bit closer to that. Not exactly like it. Like, for instance, look at those fenders. I do not like that rear fender that makes it look like a Harley. I will agree there. That's a little too sportsterish for me, and you know, I'm kind of like the type that enjoys a low profile fender in the back, but I kind of like Indian's rear fender a little bit more. The front fender now, oh my God. All right, look, if you're gonna make a bobber, I understand the necessity of having something there just to cover their asses. I know in the bobber community it's really popular to have no front fender, and you know, to some extent I see it because, you know, Triumph is putting a low profile front fender on theirs too. Road closed? What the hell, man? What are they doing? Ruining my life. Look at them hard at work. Nobody there at all. Jesus. Well, let's go through here and have a look-see. What y'all doing? No trespassing. Danger. Construction area. Yeah, whatever. I could totally make that. Not gonna though. I can see it's actually not possible to traverse that back there at all. It's just totally walled off. There's a bridge they're actually reconstructing. I heard about it, but I didn't know it wasn't done yet. Lame-o. Slalom. But yeah, let's talk about the rest of the bike, man. Apparently, the only thing they really changed with the entire bike, aside from charging $200 more over MSRP for the normal Scout, what else did they do? Nothing. They didn't change the engine, the gearing, you know. I wouldn't expect them to do that, personally, because the Scout is such a fine machine the way it is, and, you know, for the use you intend on using it for, I don't really see a reason to change up the gearing, and I mean, especially not the gearing, man. This thing is fast as balls, dude. I mean, obviously it's no sport bike. Hey, no outlet. I'm in bumfuck nowhere and there's still no way to get out of here. No outlet in my ass. Hello, bunny. Of course there's nothing down here. Just private property. God damn it. Look at them brakes. Yep, they're not changing the brakes on the bobber at all either. So, you know, it's totally an aesthetic package, really. I will say this. That seat that they're putting on there looks hella nice. It kind of looks like they just took a design right out of Roland Sands Designs playbook. And I've heard some people here and there saying, you know, the Scout looks like it was designed specifically after the Indian, looking at the aftermarket and, you know, what people design their Scouts to look like. Which, you know, to an extent, I kind of agree. It's not really that far out of the way that people have been doing them, you know, with the Roland Sands bit and whatnot. One of the things that really kind of made me go, ugh, of course you would do this just like a month after me buying this, practically, is the frame. Look at the fucking black frame that the Scout 60 got. And then look at this gray frame here. And, okay, I'll give it this. It does look good with the gray frame and the gloss paint. I don't know how I like the look of the black frame with the gloss black paint. I don't think that's really offered unless you buy a 60, which is a little bit different because the engine is not as chromed out as this one is. But I will say this. I am willing to give it a try if the frame pieces I can just unbolt and bolt in the new kind. You know, if I could get a decent price on those, man, that'd be great. Because I would love to get rid of the gray on this bike. A lot of people will buy the actual Kuryakin little trim piece covers for the radiator and whatnot. And all it really looks like is fucking putting pantyhose on tan legs. But I see the logic in it, you know? It's like, hey, I want to black out my bike. I don't want to have to tear this thing apart and repaint the frame or all that trouble. Because, you know, the engine's a stressed member here. You can't just pull the engine out and then have the frame in one piece. It's a multi-part frame. One thing they have changed over the stock a little bit is that they have, and I assume this is just to make that rear fender look a little bit closer to the tire, they actually put shocks on it that will lower it a bit. It's actually I can't remember, I think it's just 1 inch, 1 to 2 inches lower over stock to get that lower profile in the back, which I haven't really bottomed out these shocks yet. I haven't gone on any major, like, you know, bumps. I try to avoid them as to not blow my tires. But, yeah, it's like you probably can withstand that little bit less in suspension travel for what the bike is probably going to be mainly used for, which is street riding. It would not be the first time that Indian has had to go back and look at their shocks again because, as we all know, when this Scout first came out in 2015, the front suspension was garbage and the rear suspension was not far behind it. You need tighter shocks, you know? It was like they were all bouncy and soft, and it's just like, dude, I'm trying to lean in and get some speed with this thing, you know? I want it fucking tighter than a crab's butthole. But yeah, man, it looks like they're doing the right thing. Like, I like what they're doing with the Scout. I realize that they're charging just a little bit more than the normal Scout for that styling package, but hey, man, with the new bars the way they are, it kind of honestly looks like they have new grips on them too, because as we all know, the stock grips are fucking garbage. I love these Kuryakin spear grips. It looks like they're doing the right thing. And let me talk about that for a second. There's a lot of people that are unhappy about this new Scout because yada yada, looks like Harley, don't care, whatever. Tell you what, a lot more people are into that. And let me tell you who's into that. A, hipsters. You need a bobber in your lineup in order to market to hipsters now. You need a scrambler, a bobber, a flat tracker. You know, you need all this mess. Because that is who is growing up and buying motorcycles right now. You don't want the industry to die. You want to make hipsters happy. Who's the other group of people that are going to be really happy about this bike? Harley people. Holy shit, Harley people. As much as it sucks, look, this is the cruiser market, and you cannot sell a cruiser no matter what time period. Believe me, others have tried and few have succeeded, but you can't sell a cruiser and not have any kind of look and styling throwback to Harley-Davidson. So, why is it good that Indian is catering to Harley enthusiasts? Well, there's 2 reasons for that as well. Because of performance, man. Look at that. Full throttle, and I was at 70 from like however much I was. It took no time to get there. Performance is what Harley does not do. They have tried. They went in and got the, they went in with Porsche to make that V-Rod. That thing is fast as hell, and for a while at least until Ducati X Diavel, until that thing came out, they were probably one of the fastest cruisers you could buy. A lot of Harley purists didn't like it, but that's the thing about Harley. You don't buy a Harley for performance. You buy an Indian for performance now, as Americans are discovering. Because holy shit, these things are fast. There's actually a video online of just a barely modified, intake and exhaust Scout just fucking destroying a V-Rod on the drag strip, man. The V-Rod's got more horsepower, and I don't know about torque, but it's also a lot heavier than a Scout. So what do we have with Harley? We don't have performance and styling. Let's look at styling. Okay, well, hey, how about a Scout bobber? Well, there you go. Scout bobber appeals to Harley, gives them fucking the same hard dick over buying American and yada yada yada, except they get something in a really nice, fast package at a very competitive price compared to what Harley, or what I would say, overcharges for their bikes. So to all you Indian riders, don't be butthurt by this, man. They need to expand their lineup. We have the big twin Thunderstrokes, and we have the Scout with the new Scout 60 that's, barely different. That's practically 2 bikes. Unless you're looking to spend 30 grand on a big touring machine, or maybe just a little bit less on a slightly less good touring machine, just take this with a stride, because Indian needs to establish itself, which I would argue they have. Not anywhere near as well as Harley is established currently, but they need to appeal to more riders to attract them to the brand. Hell, look at the branding on the Indian Scout Bobber's tank. Hey, what's up, dude? You can already tell that they're not actually going with the Indian look by just changing the font. You change the font to something, you change it a lot more than you actually realize. There's a lot of power in graphic design that most people don't really think about until they see it up against something else. And yeah, there's some things I don't like about the bike too, but you know what? I'm not buying one. I've already invested my money into the Indian side of things. That said, Indian, if you're listening, I truly hope that you take these parts from this new bobber bike and start selling them individually. Because, dude, that blacked out gauge cluster is what I wanted from day one. Like, this is dope, but not necessarily for my color scheme, you know what I'm saying? That pretty black gauge looks fucking nice. Well, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me on this whole subject. I like the Scout Bobber. I'm glad they're doing it. I hope they do more in the future to appeal to the hipster crowd and maybe even pull some people from a Harley point of view. Because they need it! They desperately need it. And I'm excited for them, man. I'm really enjoying this whole thing. This is, without a doubt, the best middleweight cruiser I have ever ridden on. And, okay, fair enough. I can't say much about other cruisers because I haven't ridden but so many, but dude, you can't top this thing in middleweight cruiser power. It handles like, God, I'm using stock tires, and the first thing I noticed on stock tires was that this thing handles really well. And the fact that this thing is about 600 something pounds and doesn't feel like it weighs hardly even 400 just with the all aluminum frame, that's hard to beat, man. I know Harley and Yamaha sure aren't doing that well. At least not in my opinion. Sales will ultimately be the deciding factor, but yeah. So what do you guys think about the Scout Bobber? Drop a line in the comments, tell me what you think. Let's discuss this. Let's talk about Indian. Let's get people into Indian. I promise I'm not being paid by Indian. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna keep enjoying these back roads on these hills and whatnot for the rest of my day. I hope the rest of your day is as fucking sick as this day has been for me so far. It's fucking awesome, gorgeous outside, great for a ride. Anyway, you guys, take it easy, drop a like if you don't mind, and I'd really appreciate it. Have an awesome one. Peace.
Chickens?